It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Nurin Razmyn. The top stories. Government to trial QR code immigration clearance at KLIA. And Meta Telegram among 4 social media platforms that applied for MCMC license. Good morning. The Home Ministry, KDN, will commence a trial of a QR code immigration clearance system at Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA Terminals 1 and 2 this month. The initiative, aimed at reducing congestion at the country's main airport, will involve 40 dedicated lanes specifically for Malaysian citizens. In a statement on Wednesday, Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the dedicated lanes will be located in the arrival and departure halls of both terminals. One of the advantages is that immigration clearance will only take 5 to 7 seconds compared to the 15 to 25 seconds required using the conventional auto gates. This will not only reduce congestion at entry points, particularly during peak periods and festive seasons, but also enhance security and efficiency through the use of the latest technology. With the QR code system, travelers will no longer need to present their passports for immigration clearance. However, they are still required to carry their passports during their travels. Although this new system has been introduced, manual immigration counters and conventional auto gates will remain available. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has confirmed that 4 internet messaging and social media service providers have applied for licenses to operate in the country. These service providers include Telegram, Tencent, ByteDance, and Meta. In a statement on Wednesday, MCMC said that Tencent's WeChat was the first platform to be granted the application's Service Provider Class ASPC license, followed by ByteDance, which owns TikTok. The Commission also stated that Telegram and Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, have initiated the licensing process, which is expected to be completed soon. However, MCMC added that X and Google, which operates YouTube, have yet to submit their applications. MCMC also said that they will ensure that all platform providers adhere to the licensing framework which is now in force. The regulator will also assess the status of platform providers that have yet to obtain the required licenses and consider the appropriate actions under the Communications and Multimedia Act. On July 27, 2024, MCMC mandated that all social media and messaging services with at least 8 million registered users in Malaysia must secure the license to operate. This was aimed at enhancing online safety, protect users, and improve regulatory oversight of social media and internet messaging platforms. Tun Musa Aman has officially assumed the role of the 11th Yang di-Pertuan Negeri of Sabah after taking the oath of office at Istana Seri Kinabalu on Wednesday. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the ceremonial hall at about 10:20 a.m. After taking his oath, Musa then signed the instrument of office as Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, witnessed by the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, Tan Sri Abdul Rahman Sebli. This was followed by a congratulatory speech and pledge of allegiance from Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji Noor. Musa received his letter of appointment as Sabah Governor from Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim at Istana Negara on December 17th. The appointment for a term of 4 years will run from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2028. Musa succeeds Tun Joha Mahiruddin, who held the post for 4 terms since January 1st, 2011. Meanwhile, in his speech at the swearing-in ceremony, Hajiji stated that the Sabah government will continue to strive and make every effort to develop the state for the benefit and well-being of its people. The Chief Minister also affirmed that Sabah will continue to enjoy peace, success and prosperity under Musa's leadership as governor. He also called on all leaders and people in the state to unite and work together to drive Sabah's development, adding that the esteemed institution of the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri will remain a cornerstone of unity among the state's diverse society and a symbol of Sabah's sovereignty. The Road Transport Department, RTD, has launched Op Tungga to detect vehicles from Thailand that have outstanding summonses. Its Senior Enforcement Director, Muhammad Kifli Mahasan, stated that the action, which began on Wednesday, will be carried out throughout the year. Kifli said that the operation will be conducted in border states, specifically in Perlis, Kedah, Perak and Kelantan. It will also target passenger vans from Thailand operating illegally.
Kita akan menahan kenderaan-kenderaan tersebut dan kita akan membuat pemeriksaan. Sekiranya kita dapati kenderaan tersebut masih lagi mempunyai saman-saman yang tertunggak, kita akan minta arahkan pemandu tersebut selesaikan saman-saman tertunggak sebelum dia boleh meneruskan perjalanan.
Kifli added that the department had identified numerous offences, especially involving vehicles from neighbouring countries. He noted that such offences are repeatedly committed, indicating a lack of regard for the country's road regulations. He also emphasised that RTD will ensure that foreign drivers, as well as locals, adhere to the regulations and promptly pay any summons issued. Separately, the RTD has issued 134,718 notices for various offences during a nationwide special operation on motorcycles which began on November 1st. The highest number of offences recorded during the 2-month operation was riding without a licence, with 38,754 notices issued. RTD Planning and Operations Deputy Director General Datuk Jasmani Shafawi said other offences include not having a valid road tax, no insurance coverage, registration plates that do not follow specifications, and invalid licenses. A total of 319 underage motorbike riders were also detected during the operation. Authorities also seized 3,668 motorcycles for various offences, while 561 riders were screened, with 66 testing positive for drugs. Meanwhile, in Kuala Lumpur, hundreds of motorcyclists and their pillion riders were ensnared after police sealed off Jalan Samara during a crackdown on Mat Rempit at 3:30 a.m. on Wednesday. City Traffic Enforcement and Investigation Department Chief ACP Muhammad Zamzuri Muhammad Isa said the operation was carried out in response to complaints that the road had been used for illegal racing since early last month. Checks revealed that many of the motorcycles had been illegally modified, with some not having brakes while others had modified exhaust pipes. Many of the motorcyclists were youths either in secondary school or attending higher education institutions. In total, 147 motorcyclists were inspected, resulting in 38 motorcycles being seized and 92 summonses issued. Other hotspots for a total of 105 foreigners were nabbed in a raid by Johor Immigration Department enforcement officers at a workers' quarter in Masai early on New Year's Day. The operation, dubbed Op Sapu, targeted undocumented migrants and saw 454 individuals inspected, with 105 found in violation of immigration laws and regulations. In the 1:15 a.m. raid, 24 Indonesians, including 4 women, 16 Myanmar nationals, a Pakistani man, and 64 Bangladeshi men aged between 20 and 56 were detained for not having valid documents and possessing expired passports. Some detainees attempted to evade immigration officers by hiding in tight places in their cabin quarters, including cupboards, while some climbed onto the roofs, but to no avail. State Immigration Director Datuk Muhammad Rusdi Muhammad Darus said the migrants were given ample time to register in the migrant repatriation program, allowing them to return to their home countries voluntarily, which expired on Tuesday. Rusdi added that the department will intensify enforcement efforts to combat immigration violators and will take stern action on employers, premise owners, or individuals who hire or harbor undocumented migrants. All those detained in Wednesday's operation were taken to the Setia Tropica Immigration Detention Depot for further action. The DNA test results to confirm the identity of the decomposed body found in Kampung Rancangan Tanah Baru, RTB, Sungai Canggung, Banting are expected to be known on Thursday. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan on Wednesday stated that the victim's mother provided a DNA sample for analysis on Monday. The case is still ongoing, including efforts to identify the motive behind the victim's murder. Meanwhile, attempts to interview the teenager's family were unsuccessful as they requested privacy following the incident. On Tuesday, it was reported that police had arrested 3 people, including the boyfriend of a teenage girl reported missing on December 19th, following the discovery of a decomposed body in Sungai Canggung last Saturday. Hussein reportedly said that the decomposed body found, believed to be that of the 15-year-old girl, could not be identified through physical recognition. Prior to this, the teenager was reported missing after she failed to return home following a lion dance practice at a basketball court in Batu Sebelas, Cheras. Following the discovery of the body, police reclassified the missing person case as a murder investigation. In Selangor, 2 foreigners were arrested by the police following the discovery of a woman's body at a budget hotel in Puchong on Tuesday. Both men, aged 39, were detained in the Bukit Puchong area at around 3 a.m. on Wednesday. Serdang Police Chief ACP AA Anbalagan said the authorities were alerted to the incident after receiving a call at 10:15 p.m. He added that the police were informed that a hotel worker had found the victim, a foreign woman in her 30s, covered in blood and believed to have been murdered. The victim's body had been sent to Serdang Hospital for post-mortem to determine the cause of death. Both suspects have been remanded for 6 days until Monday to assist police investigations under the Penal Code for murder. Meanwhile, in Johor, police have arrested a couple and seized various types of drugs worth 2.41 million ringgit in Iskandar Puteri on Saturday. The suspects, a 33-year-old man and a 31-year-old woman, were detained after police stopped the car they were traveling in during a special operation in Mutiara Rini. State Police Chief Dato M. Kumar said that during an inspection of the suspect's car, officers discovered 14 kilograms of ecstasy, 24.58 grams of ketamine, 2.75 grams of shabu, and 19.48 grams of ecstasy pills in the vehicle's boot.
Pasaran lokal saja, tempatan. Pot-pot yang kecil, tokan-tokan yang kecil. Dan semua barangan ini seperti saya bagi tahu, kenderaan mereka dijadikan sebagai stok. Dan kenderaan itu didaftarkan atas nama ahli keluarga mereka sendiri. Salah seorang.
The suspects also led the police to a house in Taman Ungku Amina where authorities seized jewelry valued at 15,573 ringgit and 2,170 Thai baht. Both suspects also tested positive for drugs and had previous criminal records related to drug offences. The duo are believed to have been active since October. They have been remanded for 7 days until Friday to assist investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act. It was a tragic start to the new year for 261 people from 42 families in Laban after their homes were destroyed in a fire on Wednesday morning. The 10 a.m. blaze occurred at the Muslim Refugee Community Settlement Scheme, SPMP, at Jalan Batu Arang, involving 39 wooden shanty houses.
Jembatan sudah. Wayar habis hangus.
An emergency call on the massive fire was received by the Labuan Fire and Rescue Department at 10:47 a.m. Firefighters dispatched to the scene managed to bring the flames under control within an hour with the assistance of the residents. The swift action helped minimize damage and saved other homes in the settlement. No fatalities or injuries were reported. The cause of the fire and the total losses are still under investigation. Labuan National Security Council (MKN) Director Muhammad Hafiz Muhammad Daud stated that emergency teams, along with local agencies such as the Social Welfare Department (JKM) and the Federal Territories Islamic Religious Council (MAWIP), are providing aid to affected victims. The densely populated settlement consists of 334 houses, accommodating approximately 1,700 residents. Kazakhstan stuns Germany to reach semis. Action from the United Cup after this breather.
Adakah anda sudah bersedia? Esther, Yusriansha, Mary Grace, Hafiz Sainat, Before 3, Voiceover, Trio XL, Jimmy, Iqmal Romi, Danya, Farina, Reza Shah, Dayangku Ifa, Elia Guntabe, Anik Ifat, Alia Mardi, Sazli, Jill Gaisa, Kai Deva, Mariam. This is Kalpis Soda. 1 in a million. Sejuta soda. Satu juara.
Oi.
Ayah.
Aku asyik terfikir kejadian tadi. Yang tiba-tiba budak muda tu muncul.
Bahaya.
Rashid datang rumah. Rashid tak nak cari pengganti Sarah tu?
Semua ni punca daripada kau. Woi, jangan lagi.
Polis Peronda setiap Jumaat 10 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
I assume you...
Ya, I bukan Muslim. And I datang sini untuk belajar kelas agama. Puas hati? I tahu apa you buat, Encik Firdaus.
Sports now, the United Cup. Kazakhstan shattered Germany's title defense on Wednesday and secured their place in the semi-finals of the mixed team tennis tournament with a 2-1 win in Perth. Elena Rybakina put Kazakhstan ahead with a comprehensive 6-3, 6-1 victory over Laura Sigmund in the first match of the tournament's knockout stages. In the men's singles, Alexander Shevchenko struggled initially against Daniel Masur, who replaced the injured Alexander Zverev before losing the first set in a tiebreaker. The 24-year-old, however, lifted his game to win the next 2 sets and give Kazakhstan an unassailable 2-0 lead after prevailing 6-7, 6-2, 6-2. In the third match, which held no significance for the tie, Sigmund and Tim Puetz secured a consolation point for Germany as they defeated Zibek Kulambayeva and Dmitry Popko in straight sets 6-2, 6-2. Still on tennis, the Brisbane International. Grigor Dimitrov stayed on course for his title defense after advancing to the quarterfinals on Wednesday. The two-time men's champion downed Alexander Vukic 6-2, 7-6 after 1 hour and 25 minutes, overcoming late resistance from the Australian wildcard. The world number 10 will next play the winner of the match between Jordan Thompson and Alex Michelsen. Earlier, Jiri Lehecka beat Yoshihito Nishioka in 3 sets to book his spot in the quarterfinals. The world number 8 Czech claimed a 6-2, 6-7, 6-4 victory over the Japanese qualifier, setting up a meeting with Nicolas Jarry in the last 8 clash. In the men's doubles event, new doubles team of Novak Djokovic and Nick Kyrgios are out of the tournament in the second round. The pair, granted a wildcard entry by tournament organizers, lost 6-2, 3-6, 10-8 to the top-seeded team of Nikola Metic of Croatia and New Zealander Michael Venus. Awaiting Metic and Venus in the quarterfinals are the all-British duo of Julian Clash and Lloyd Glasspool. Turning to athletics, double Olympic champion Beatrice Chebet smashed the women's 5 kilometers world record with a time of 30 minutes and 54 seconds in Barcelona on Tuesday, as she finished a blockbuster year on a high. The Kenyan beat her previous record set a year ago to the day at the Barcelona race by 19 seconds, becoming the first woman to break the 14-minute barrier in the event. Chebet was all on her own as she sprinted through the race and embraced friends at the finish line, after adding another accolade to her name, having won the 5,000 and 10,000 meters at this year's Paris Olympic Games. The 24-year-old also enjoyed a nearly flawless year, breaking the 10,000-meter world record in Eugene in May, before claiming her second Diamond League title in the 5,000 meter in September. New Orleans attack leaves 10 dead. The details when Nightline returns.
Saksikan Kopi Soda 1 in a Million untuk peluang memenangi sebuah Peugeot Landtrek setiap minggu, setiap Ahad bermula 22 Disember hingga 2 Februari. Tonton dan ikuti langkah mudah ini. Imbas kod QR yang tertera di sepanjang rancangan dan jawab soalan-soalan yang diberikan. Maklumat lanjut di tonton.com.my Kopi Soda OIAM TV3. Kopi Soda 1 in a Million, sejuta soda, satu juara.
Awak cakap je lah dengan saya awak nak masak apa.
Mana boleh. Kenalah bagi surprise.
Tu nak surprise juga. Orang tengah lapar ni.
Wak. Awak dengar tak tu? Anak jiran kita kena dera lagi lah.
Tak payah masuk campur lah. Biarlah.
Mana boleh macam tu. Kita sebagai jiran, kita kena peka dengan hal tetangga tau.
Yalah. Saya pergi tegur diorang. Tengok apa yang patut. Assalamualaikum.
Ingat, mengambil tahu hal sekeliling bukan bermakna menjaga tepi kain orang lain. Tapi, kita perlu prihatin demi mengelak perkara buruk daripada terjadi. Kasihani dan sayangilah anak-anak kita.
Sayang, nampak jam saya tak?
Alah, awak yang tak kemas betul-betul. Semaklah, serabut tau.
Hidup ini keras. Kita patut bertolak ansur dengan pasangan kita.
Kita kena ambil berat, ambil peduli dan saling berkongsi kesenangan dan kepayahan kerana ia adalah penghubung kasih sayang.
On to the foreign front. From Sydney to Dubai to Paris to Rio de Janeiro, communities around the world welcomed 2025 on Wednesday with a plethora of spectacular fireworks shows, as it takes 26 hours for the new year to be welcomed across 39 different time zones.
Bangkok welcomed 2025 with eco-friendly fireworks across the Chao Phraya River. The 6-act fireworks display celebrated Thai heritage under the theme celebrating the everlasting legacy of Siam. Meanwhile, Dubai welcomed the new year with a stunning fireworks display at Burj Khalifa as thousands gathered to watch the nearly 9-minute-long show on the world's tallest skyscraper. Paris also kicked off 2025 with massive fireworks, which momentarily engulfed the Arc de Triomphe monument in a fiery display. While London brought in the new year with a fireworks display over the River Thames as the iconic Big Ben struck midnight. Lastly, thousands of revelers cheered in the new year in New York with the annual ceremony of a descending crystal-clad ball.
Meanwhile, Germany police on Wednesday said at least 5 people have died across the country from accidents linked to powerful fireworks. According to officials, a 24-year-old man died in Berlin after detonating a pyrotechnic rocket, while another man died of a serious head injury when he set fire to a pyrotechnic bomb. At least 13 law enforcement officers were injured as a result of the accidents this year, including one seriously. Meanwhile, some 330 people were detained in Berlin overnight. However, contrary to previous years, authorities said there was no major violence or incidents, as Germans are known to celebrate the new year with a particularly intense usage of fireworks. At least 10 people were killed and 35 others injured when a truck plowed into a large crowd in a popular tourist district in the U.S. city of New Orleans on Wednesday. According to officials, the incident occurred at about 3:15 a.m. local time at the intersection of Canal and Bourbon Street in the French Quarter during New Year's Eve's celebrations. Police reported that the vehicle crashed into the crowd at high speeds before the driver exited and began firing a weapon, prompting officers to return fire. It was reported that at least 2 police officers were shot by the perpetrator. However, their conditions are stable. The injured victims have been taken to hospitals for treatment. The FBI has taken over the investigation, stating that an improvised explosive device was found at the scene and agents are assessing its viability. Investigators probing the deadly crash of JuJu Air Flight 2216 in South Korea have finally retrieved the initial data from one of the aircraft's black boxes on Wednesday. The Deputy Minister for Civil Aviation said the initial extraction of data from the cockpit voice recorder had been completed. He added that based on preliminary data, they will now plan to start converting it to audio format. However, the plane's second black box, the flight data recorder, would be sent to the United States for analysis, as local investigators were unable to recover the information it contained due to a key missing piece and the damage it suffered in the crash.
As the investigation continues into the specific cause of the crash, authorities announced that all 179 of those who died have been identified as of Wednesday morning. South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok said funeral procedures have begun and a joint investigation was underway.
밤사이 희생자 179분들에 대한 신원 확인이 모두 완료되었고 11분은 유가족분들께 인도되어 장례식장의 안치를 완료하는 등 장례 절차가 시작되었습니다.
The victims' families will now, for the first time, be taken to the site to pay their respects.
In continued Zionist violence on Wednesday, airstrikes on central and northern Gaza have killed at least 27 Palestinians. One strike hit a home in the Jabalia area of northern Gaza, where health officials said 7 people were killed and at least a dozen others were wounded. Another strike overnight in central Gaza killed a woman and a child, while a third strike in the southern city of Khan Yunis killed at least 3 more people. Meanwhile, days of heavy rain have flooded hundreds of shelters across the Strip, piling more misery on displaced Palestinians as Israel continues to restrict the entry of humanitarian aid. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at fireworks shown over UAE's Ras Al Khaimah on New Year's Eve as hundreds gathered to ring in the new year. With that, I'm Nurin Razmyn. Thank you for watching and stay safe.